All righty, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I know our cameraman's ready, so if you're still eating, go ahead and finish up. Grab yourself a drink. We'll just get going here. Before we get started with all the introductions, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few people. First, I want to thank the athletic department, our athletic director, Missy Harvey. Harvey Crouch is here, Mike Dole, Jamie Cox. Go ahead and stand up so everybody can see you. Let's go. All of you. Come on. All right, they're a little shy. We do have one of the best athletic departments in the GMC. I've worked with them for quite a while now, and they take care of us. They do a lot of things behind the scene that people don't always see, but they have our student athletes' best interest at heart at all times. They take care of the workers, they take care of the kids, they take care of the families, they take care of parents, they take care of everybody, and they do a great job. We're lucky in Hamilton. We really are, because we've got a great staff. Just quick funny story. So I announce football as well as a couple other sports, but a couple years ago I was asked to do a visiting game, away game. Well, when you're at Hamilton, they feed us very well. So on Friday nights when you're going to the game, you're going to get fed. It's pizza, it's chicken, it's Jimmy John. It could be anything for the day, but they always feed us well. So I was asked to announce an away game because their announcer was sick or something, and so I agreed to do it. Well, so I go to this Friday night game thinking I'm going to get dinner because it's one of the nicer schools. And we get there, and I'm starved. I worked all day, and I get there, and I show up, and they have a couple bags of chips for us. Made me appreciate our group a little bit more at that point. So our athletic department, like I said, they're top notch. So thanks to that whole crew, because they've put in a lot of time and effort with everything they do. Next, Superintendent, Mr. Mike Holbrook. And also Hamilton High Principal, Mr. John Zeri. And we'd also like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee for everything they do. We'll go ahead and read the list. If you're here, go ahead and stand up. Tyler Ballou, Wayne Bowling, Joni Kopus, Chris Cannell, DJ DeLong, Mike Dole, Missy Harvey, Jerry Lauer, John Ross, Larry Wood, and Jack Young. And once again, another group that puts in a lot of time to make sure that this evening goes very well and that we get all the right people into the Hall of Fame. Next up, we'd like to thank Jeff Tanner and Jostens for their donations of the Hall of Fame gifts, which everybody will be receiving here tonight. I don't know if anyone's here representing them, so thanks to Jeff and Jostens for that. Another big special thanks is to TV Hamilton and Steve Colwell, if you see him over here. They are actually going live right now on Facebook, so if you know anybody that can attend tonight and would want to watch, shoot them a quick message. Tell them to go follow TV11 on Facebook, and you can watch the show, or they can watch all your speeches, so give them a quick follow. I also want to thank the Fitton Center, the Creative Arts, for hosting us this evening. What a venue we have here, beautiful place. They always take care of everything. Hamilton loves coming here. It's just a wonderful place. So thank you to the Fitton Center. And then also to Two Women in a Kitchen Catering for the dinner we had tonight. Big round of applause for them. And one more quick one is to the Sharp family, which they'll be coming up here in just a minute. But they give a scholarship out every year to two of our student athletes. So we're going to get ready to recognize those students from last year. So at this time, I'm going to introduce our athletic director, Missy Harvey. She's going to come up and present those.
Move this down just a little bit. So when you get old, first you need glasses, and then they turn the lights down, and it really went bad for you. I don't think I made the font quite big enough tonight, so hopefully we'll get through this. I would first like to thank my staff as well. Mike Dole, who is definitely behind the scenes of a lot that goes on with Hall of Fame. He is responsible for the program. He is a major historian like Mr. Wood. I kind of call Mike the junior Mr. Wood, actually. It's very nice when you get those stats and he pulls out that book and he goes through them, so he did a great job with that. Jamie Cox, who is the person behind the phone when you call to order your tickets and all that. RV Crouch, who did a great job helping me out yesterday, kind of moving stuff around and getting everything up here today. I truly am blessed to have the staff that I have. When I look out here, it makes me know why I have this job. I sometimes question at 50 why I would step into such a position. And then I step up here and I see all the tradition and all of the passion that comes with Big Blue. And that's what I'm about. And that's what I really want to, that's why I'm here. I want to turn our sports back to this. When I look everybody out here and I look at who's in and who's going in tonight and the relationships that I've had with some of them, it reminds me of what Big Blue used to be and what I want it to be. So nights like tonight remind me of why I do what I do, and it makes me truly appreciate it. So I thank you guys for that. So why I'm really up here, I have the privilege of this evening of presenting the scholarship to 2 Big Blue graduates on behalf of Coach Bill Sharp and his family. With us tonight is his son, Jim, and Jim's daughter, Stacy Sharp Kavanaugh. I've had the privilege of working with Jim. He, like his father, is a true gentleman, and I'm extremely grateful for his continued scholarship on behalf of his father. Coach Sharp graduated from OSU in 1928 and moved to Hamilton in 1930, where he spent over 60 years impacting the lives of thousands of students and athletes. He was known to everyone simply as Coach, and his devotion to sports and fitness was overshadowed only by his desire to help people be successful and realize their potential. Coach Sharp strongly emphasized a commitment to academic excellence, competing with honor, and displaying good sportsmanship at all times. Although small in stature, his actions and positive attitude cast a large shadow as a role model for generations of Hamilton's youth. The gymnasium at Garfield Middle School is named in his honor. The plaque reads, "A true gentleman that has been a positive role model for our entire community for 3 generations as a teacher and coach." He was inducted into this same Hall of Fame in 1999. The Coach Scholarship Award, which started in 2010, is awarded to 2 seniors, 1 male and 1 female. The recipients shall be chosen based on, in part, the following criteria. They must have earned 2 varsity letters during their senior year. They must have maintained at least a minimum of a 3.0 cumulative GPA. They must display outstanding sportsmanship during athletic competition. They must display outstanding citizenship throughout community service. This year's recipients of the Coach Sharp Scholarship are Miss Lily Arvin and Mr. Curtis Moak, who is actually represented by his sister Claire. If I could have you 2 come up now. So I will tell you, you truly are, and I know it's just Claire, but if Curtis were here, you would be looking at 2 future Hall of Famers that are going to be inducted into this same Hall of Fame in the next 10 years. They are definitely worthy. Lily was a 4-year varsity soccer player and a 4-year varsity bowler. She was a member of that state championship team last year that I spoke of when I was here. She was named GMC Bowler of the Year and multiple first-team All-League selections. Curtis was a 4-year varsity baseball player, 2-year varsity basketball player. Curtis was the MVP of the baseball team last year and was a multiple first-team All-League selection in baseball as well. He was not able to attend tonight because he is, I think, in Georgia playing baseball. Mr. Sharp, if you could now come up with your daughter, Stacy, who happens to be Coach Sharp's only granddaughter, and present them with their scholarship. So kind of out of character, I told them they didn't have to speak. However, Claire wants to give a speech on behalf of Curtis.
I am reading this on behalf of my brother Curtis. I am honored to be chosen as a recipient of the Bill Sharp Scholarship. Thank you for your generosity, as it will help me continue my academic and athletic college career. This will get me one step closer to achieving my goals. Thank you so much.
right, Danny?
All right, once again, congratulations to Lily and Curtis there. That's it's a big honor to get that Coach Sharp award, that scholarship, and I know those two, like she said, they're going to be standing up here down the road, not too far. All right, enough with the thank yous. Let's go ahead and get to why we're here. Today we have an impressive lineup of inductees that showcase unique character and spirit that represents the tradition that Big Blue Sports represents. Sports is more than just the game. It's about the character being built in each athlete that will help guide them into life with the tools they need to be successful people. As we look around this room, it is filled with people who are perfect examples of the amazing things that Hamilton Athletics has done for our students. As Vince Lombardi puts it, the price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. That starts in the classroom, moves on to the sports field, and everyone that has been inducted previously to today into the future represents all of that. Hamilton represents all of that. If you haven't been here in a while, this is a great town. It really is. Blessed to be here, blessed to be up here today, and blessed to be part of this induction ceremony. So let's go ahead and get started. If you look in the program, you'll notice we're going to be bypassing Tim Anderson today. He could not make it this evening, so we are going to actually move him to next year. So I'm going to call your name. When you hear your name called, I will go ahead and start reading your biography there. You can go ahead and start making your way up to the stage. Make sure you enter on this side, and when I finish, you'll be able to give your speech. Just a reminder, they will be shutting off the lights here in about an hour and a half, so the few of you that get a little long-winded, we may have one or two. I don't know who they are, but and also we've learned recently from our basketball games, we have a lot of family and friends that like to just hang out after the game and not leave. So we asked them numerous times, hey, we need to clear the gym. We need to get cleaned out. People want to go home. It's 10 o'clock. We're ready to call it a night. Well, they don't like to leave. So then we have to start playing music to try to annoy people to leave. They still don't want to leave. So a couple weeks ago, we finally found the sound that I think has done it. So we've got it queued up. It's the Screaming Goat. So if you have not heard of the Screaming Goat yet, make sure you listen to that later. Hopefully we don't get it tonight. I really don't want to have to play it. It is pretty annoying, but for the few of you that might get a little long-winded, we do have it queued up, ready to go. And speaking of our first inductee, Dan Brandenburg, class of 1964. Dan Brandenburg is a 1964 graduate of Taft High School, where he played baseball and basketball. Brandenburg excelled on the baseball diamond, where he was a 3-year letter winner playing shortstop, and during his senior season, Brandenburg earned first-team All-GMC honors. Brandenburg earned a scholarship to Miami University, where he played baseball and earned his bachelor's and master's degree. After his graduation, he began his teaching and coaching career. He served as the head girls basketball coach for 11 years, where he coached several Hall of Famers and started a citywide youth basketball league for 5th and 6th graders. In 1981, Dan was named Hamilton High School Teacher of the Year. Likewise, in 1990, he was named the Booker T. Washington Teacher of the Year. After retiring from teaching, Brandenburg continued coaching, was named Coach of the Year 4 times, once at Ursuline Academy and 3 times while coaching at Talawanda. And Brandenburg still calls Hamilton his home.
Thank you. I have a couple of announcements first. Steve Fisher, where are you? Okay, Steve. Larry Allen, where are you? I got a phone call from Queen City Tent and Awning. They would like to have you come down and pose for their new underwear selection that's coming out. So I'll give you that phone number afterwards. My table went through the line first because I got 5 guys down here that are on a work release program from Lebanon Correctional Institution, and they got to be back before 9 o'clock. I have 79 things I wanted to talk about, and they said I had 3 minutes. So now I got 76 things I want to talk about. I want to tell you all, I am so thrilled to be here. I tried to do my best every day that I taught and I coached and so on. And I traveled through Hamilton High and absolutely loved teaching government and psychology. How many of you people were my students? I do really appreciate that. Then I went to Ursuline to coach. Now, I'm a Baptist. I went to the most Catholic school that you can possibly understand. And while I'm down there, I'm coaching basketball. I don't know how I got the job, but the first game, we're in a circle. Two girls in front of me. One girl says, "Little flower." And she says, "Give me power." And it comes to me. I say, "How does your garden grow?" I had no clue. No clue whatsoever. Well, okay, I have a really good friend here, a lot of good friends here. Dick Boggs, will you raise your hand, please? Dick and Kathy. Dick pitched the NCAA final championship game for Ohio State when Ohio State won the NCAA championships. And he and I went through a lot together. He likes to tell the story that he pitched batting practice to me, and I went back to the dugout, and one of the players said, "What's he throwing?" And he says, "I said, it sounds like fastballs." So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's see. Jillian Spurlock, we all know her. She asked me, her parents asked me who I had in school, if I'd work her out in the gym. And so we did it twice a week for an hour and a half, and I was killed. And Jillian was not killed. And the last drill was a full court three-point shooting drill. And she's going full court, and she's shooting, and she's making them and missing some. And I said, "Jillian, pretend like you're in a telephone booth. Pretend like you're in a telephone booth." She goes down the floor, she shoots, she fades a little bit. You know, I don't want her to, "Pretend like you're in a telephone booth." She looks at me and she says, "Coach B, what's a telephone booth?" I lost it. I absolutely lost it. One of the things, Diane Halderbach is going to come up here and speak. Diane is one of my favorite people. She has a degree in engineering. Diane, is that right? Education now. Okay. She got really smart. She went from engineering to education. And she moved up to northern Ohio, and she coached the boys' reserve basketball team. And she did a fantastic job. And I want you to know I'm really proud of you. Jan Marhefka. Let's see, who else? Let me see. I don't think she's here. There's a couple that aren't here right now. But anyway, I'm done. And I want you to know, I could go on and on and on and on and on. I love this city. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
And by the way, I was one of them that he had in class. Long time ago, it seems. All right, next up will be Diane Holderbach Burchin from the greatest class to ever come out of Hamilton, the class of 1993. Diane is a 1993 graduate of Hamilton High School, where she earned varsity letters in soccer, basketball, and track and field. On the soccer field, Diane was a 4-year starter on the soccer team and earned all GMC honors, 2 of them being first-team selections. Burchin was named the team's MVP all 4 of her years at Hamilton High. Burchin played in the Cincinnati Classic All-Star Game and traveled to Europe as part of a national team tour. On the basketball court, Burchin was a 4-year varsity letter winner while earning all GMC honors on 2 different occasions. During her career, she set the single-season record for assists at 129, and the career assist record totaled 347. She was also named to the Butler County All-Stars and played in the Cincinnati All-Star Game. Not only was Burchin an outstanding athlete, but she was also her class valedictorian. Burchin earned her bachelor's degree in mathematics and secondary education from the University of Cincinnati and her master's from Bowling Green State University. She began her teaching career in the Cincinnati public school system and currently serves as the gifted intervention specialist at Rossford, where she was voted Teacher of the Year in 2016. She and her husband, Kevin, reside in Pemberville, Ohio, with their 2 children, Riley and Logan. Diane Holderbach Burchin.
You know, I live a far, far drive from here, but when you're introduced by somebody you dated in junior high, and you follow your basketball coach in your speech, it's Ohio's not that big, right? I just want to start by congratulating all of the inductees that are also here with me tonight. It's such an honor to be inducted with such wonderful people, and the amounts of accomplishments that are in this room is just mind-blowing to me, so congratulations to all of you. I'm proud to call Hamilton High School my home and my alma mater. I made so many wonderful memories, and I appreciate the trip down memory lane that this journey took me on, because I'll be honest, when I had to fill out the form, I couldn't remember a whole lot. It's been 30 years, you guys. And to be in the building last night and see the changes to the school was just amazing. I'm also jealous, by the way, that I didn't get to play on that court. That was pretty impressive. Thank you to those who spent so many hours working behind the scenes to make this weekend so special for all of us. Your hard work and dedication to Hamilton High School athletics is so much appreciated. And then I have a few other people I want to thank. I guess I have to start with Mr. Brandenburg, who, by the way, last night during the halftime presentation asked me if I wanted to run suicides. Mr. Purcell, Miss Mouse, and even Mr. Churchman, who coached me back in junior high and really helped me develop my love for basketball, because up to that point I wasn't really sure it was my thing. I want to thank my soccer coaches, Melissa Sprague, who passed away several years ago, Missy and Bev, who were like the duo that came in my senior year and made that a really fun experience for all of us. And even my mom, who stepped up and coached junior high soccer for us just so we could have a team, even though the only thing she knew how to do was chase me up and down the sidelines and yell at me while I played. My parents, of course, my dad passed away 6 years ago, and this would have been his dream to see something like this for me. So thank you, Dad. I know you're here. My brother and sister, my grandparents who passed, the rest of my extended family, who some of whom are here tonight representing my dad, which is very special, who've supported me in so many ways. My friends, I had so many people I haven't seen in 20 years who showed up last night at the basketball game, so that was pretty amazing to see people. My husband and kids, who weren't there when I was in high school, of course, but have suffered through many of the stories, so thank you for that. My teachers, who guided me as a student and as a person, really helping me figure out how to balance it all, and who pushed me to be the best version of myself, so thank you for that. You know, we were asked to reflect on our time at Hamilton High School and our careers, and that trip down memory lane was interesting. Like I said, many of those memories had faded, and it was very hard to fill out the awards because I honestly couldn't remember. So thanks, Mom, for the scrapbook, because it's the only way I even remembered some of my awards. But what I do remember are the people, the relationships, and all of the fun we had. I truly loved my teammates and coaches, and those are the things that stick with me and mean the most to me from this whole experience. Awards are fun, don't get me wrong, but the bonds with my sports family are what I appreciate the most. It's the silly stories, the ones of torture as well, Mr. Brandenburg. It's the people and the lessons that I learned and that I value and appreciate. My parents, my coaches, my teachers helped to instill in me the values of hard work and dedication to whatever I take on, and I take on a lot still. Sportsmanship and the importance of teamwork and putting your trust in one another. These are the lessons that carried me through college and through my career thus far. These wonderful people led me to my chosen career as a teacher, because engineering just wasn't the people job I was looking for, and my decision to coach and give back to others. It shaped me as an educator and made me want to always be my best self for my own family and for my children. So my heartfelt thanks goes to all of you.
All right, next up will be Dean Curtis. Being represented tonight are will be representing Dean tonight will be Shamana Curtis and Randy Prentup, so if they would like to come up. Dean Curtis had the unique opportunity to play for both Hamilton Taft in 1979 and 80, and then after the consolidation for Hamilton High School, where he graduated in 1981. While at Taft, Curtis played with fellow Hall of Famers Brian Barlow and Don Baker as they won the Greater Miami Conference Championship. The following year, Curtis again teamed up with Baker along with the Hall of Famers Greg Stokes and Rusty Hargraves to win the GMC Championship. Both of those teams were led by Hall of Fame coach Marvin McCollum, and Curtis was the driving force to unifying the two schools, where he had a unique way to unite people and show true leadership skills. Curtis had 104 assists during his senior season. This makes him one of only 14 players in the history of Hamilton High School to have over 100 assists in a season. During that season, Big Blue finished the season with a 25-1 record, only losing to eventual state champions Dayton Roth in the regional finals in an epic game. Dean was selected to the All-Golden Triangle team, and after high school, Curtis attended Urbana University and majored in sociology while playing basketball. He was married to Shamana Curtis and has one son, Ryan. Curtis was an ordained minister and served in a variety of roles. Curtis retired from International Papers as a process manager.
Good evening. Again, I'm Shamana Curtis, and this is Randy Prentup. My nephew and I are truly honored to stand before you today on behalf of Dean Curtis, my husband and his uncle. Dean would have been honored, humbled, and happy to be here today. So as we channel our inner Dean, Randy and I are going to tag team our presentation. I'm going to start with 3 very important thank yous, and then Randy's going to share highlights of Dean, the basketball player. So our family would not be standing here today celebrating Dean had Dean and I not been hungry. Here's the backstory. It's a Saturday morning in September 2021. We're standing at the counter to cash out at Perkins. Dean makes eye contact with this man who says, "Are you Dean Curtis?" For those of you who don't know Dean, he has this no-nonsense kind of look. So he looks at the man like, who wants to know? But what he said was, "Yes, I'm Dean." The man said, "Oh my God, I used to love coming to the basketball games to watch you play ball. You were a general on the court. You and Stokes played every game." They began reminiscing about sports because he's also a Hall of Famer, and his name is Dale Work. As they are Dale Work, yes, thank you. As they are talking, Dale says, "As a fellow Hall of Famer," Dean said, "I'm not a Hall of Famer." With shock and dismay, Dale said, "We need to fix that." So man, together we can write a nomination. So they ended up exchanging numbers and they began working on it. It's now March. Dale calls me and says, "I haven't heard from Dean." I share, unfortunately, Dean has transitioned on. He was shocked and said, "I wanted Dean to see what I wrote about him." He asked me, "Can I still submit the nomination?" I said, "Absolutely." And here we stand. So to Dale Work, on behalf of myself and the entire Curtis family, we are eternally grateful to you and that chance encounter at a Perkins. Next, I'd like to thank the athletic department and the selection committee. When I got the call from Chris Cannell, I was thrilled for Dean. If you don't know, Dean bled blue, as in Big Blue. Dean loved basketball and was a student of the game. He told me after practice, his practice routine was to shoot 200 baskets. He played at the local community center, Miami University, and whenever and wherever possible. 40 years after graduating, he was still attending basketball games, supporting nieces, nephews, and just the team itself. So thank you to the selection committee for choosing Dean. And specifically to Missy and your team, thank you for the commemorative poster and history. It was truly outstanding. Thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank our family and friends for your support. This is a bittersweet moment for us. It's sweet, though, because this is an achievement Dean really wanted. And today is the 11th, and his jersey number was 11. Yes, so this is the perfect day for us to celebrate his legacy. He is looking down from heaven with that rare smile, saying, "Well done, thank you, and I love you all."
Well, I don't know what I need to say. You said it all. But I'll try to be quick here and represent my uncle. Thank you for the opportunity to stand before you and reminisce how great of a player my uncle Dean Curtis was for our Big Blue. The ultimate all-around true point guard who could shoot and score with the best from any era, whose dribbling abilities and ball handling capabilities was legendary and unfazable, whose defensive pressure often served as nightmares for opposing guards. The impact Dean had on Big Blue's greatest team will always be felt and remembered. I shared a story with Dean many years ago about my time when I was playing for the Buckeyes, and I ran into Ronnie Stokes and Troy Taylor. In 1980, they were two guards for Canton McKinley, who I believe was ranked #1, and we were ranked #2 in the state. Both teams were headed on a collision course for an epic state championship final game. And if it wasn't for those blind referees against that Dayton Rolfe, let me not say the rest then, okay? Both Ronnie Stokes and Troy Taylor went on to play at Ohio State and had stellar careers. When I arrived at Ohio State, they had both just ended their careers, but remained close to the program. Both were, great men. One day, as they practiced with the current Buckeye team, Ronnie Stokes was just abusing me on the court. Ronnie just abused me on the court during practice, and then after practice, he would coach me up and give me tips on the game, how I can improve. However, I was so humbled after that abuse and a little bit of his trash talking, the only thing that I could come back and say was, my Uncle Dean was way better than you. True story. And you lucky the refs cheated us against Dayton Rolfe. But true story, he blurted out, "Dean Curtis, that was your uncle?" And to my surprise, he knew of Dean and started telling me about our team with Greg Stokes and Dean and how impressed he was with Dean. He thought Dean should have went on to Iowa and played with Greg Stokes and played major college basketball. He says, "Please tell Dean I said hello and we wish we could have battled." He then called Troy over that was sitting on the bench and proceeded to inform Troy, like, "Hey, guess who Printup's uncle is? Do you remember Dean Curtis from Hamilton?" He said, yeah, I thought he was going to go to Iowa. Now, I proudly shined in absorbing all of my uncle's accolades from these two great Ohio State players. I shared the story with Dean, and Dean laughed. And in his humble demeanor, he said, "Those were two great players, and I wish we could have played against them." And then he deflected his accolades onto his teammates, like, who would have stopped Greg Stokes on that team? Humble, that yells out Dean's personality. A man who cared more about lifting up others than receiving his own just recognition. For example, Dean and I always communicated via Facebook Messenger, and he would tell me, "I'm proud of you, nephew. Your teams that I coach, your teams are looking good. Keep doing good work in the community with those kids." He always made me feel special as he communicated with me. However, one time we ventured into a conversation about the great lineage of point guards from Big Blue. We spoke about the different eras and their impact on the teams they played with. I shared with him that I remember watching him play at the center in 4th Street Park, how I studied everything he did on the court, all of his smooth and clean-cut mannerisms. And as my coaches back there would tell you, those smooth mannerisms never came to me. I shared how he always seemed to knock down every pull-up and mid-range jump shot, how he always had a head up trying to make the right basketball play. I ended the conversation by saying, "Dean, indeed, you're my favorite point guard from Hamilton." Not because you're my uncle, but because of you embodied all those attributes that I just mentioned. I knew he doesn't like to hear or receive praise about his game, but what he said next to me captures the man Dean was. His response was, "Nephew, I agree there were many great point guards from Big Blue, but don't forget about Taft and Garfield, point guards like my uncle Bruce Curtis, Terry Harding, Layman Dixon." He spoke about Dion, Mike Reese, and named a few more throughout our history of Big Blue point guards. He gave me a list from the eras from 70s to the 2000s. And after he mentioned all those great point guards, he ended by raising the question to me, do you know who my favorite point guard of all time was? And I'm thinking about all those names he just rattled off. He said it was you. he said it was you. Not because of the qualities you looked at when you saw me, but because of the best qualities I've ever seen in you, and you're a leader of men. See, I overlooked the one key attribute describing what I admired about my uncle's game, his ability to have an incredible assist. He's always looked to build you up. Psalms 37, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Dean's ability to build one up was not humanly natural. It was ordained and inserted into him. Not to be a Hall of Fame point guard on the court, but to be a heavenly vessel to assist his fellow man. Each step Dean took was ordered. This was deserving of making him deserving of an amazing recognition tonight. His steps fed the hungry by making sure elderly ate. His steps led him to become a responsible community leader. His steps kept him right here in Hamilton when so many of us ventured off into other regions of the world. His steps kept him right here to assist, to be an impact to so many Hamiltonians. His steps was a man who served the Lord graciously and obediently. A true point guard who led his team through the action steps with internal strength and compassion for his teammates. Dean Curtis, you're not merely my favorite point guard, but you are the son of Hamilton, and so many others have positively been impacted by your faithful step. So thank you, Hall of Fame electors, for this prestigious award and helping my uncle Dean Curtis reach his final step, a Hamilton High School Hall of Fame inductee.
I mean, unfortunately, I was pretty young at that time. I really wish I was old enough to be back there, watch that after those stories. But I do remember those names, and I said, well done, beautiful speech. Next up, we have Matt Hubbard, class of 1998. Matt Hubbard was a two-sport athlete for Hamilton High School and graduated in 1998. On the baseball diamond, Hubbard was a 3-year starter at second base. Big Blue won the Greater Miami Conference title all 3 of these years. During his junior season, Hubbard helped lead the Big Blue to the Ohio Division I state baseball title with fellow Hall of Fame teammates Curtis Moak, who I believe is also here, Chad Pennington, Aaron Cook, and Seth Morse, under the direction of Hall of Fame coach Dan Bowling, who is also here. Hubbard was selected to the All-GMC team during all 3 seasons, earning first-team selection his junior season. During his sophomore year, Hubbard played the entire season without recording a single error. On the basketball court, Hubbard again was a 3-year letter winner. During the 1996-97 season, Hubbard was named the top defensive player for Big Blue and led the team in assists and steals. During his senior season, Hubbard was a first-team All-GMC selection, once again leading the team in assists and steals. Hubbard still holds the record for the most free throws attempted in one game at 21. Hubbard is the lead carpenter for Meyer Brothers, Inc., resides in Hamilton with his wife, Stephanie, and has 3 children, Braden Hubbard, Preston Ratliff, and Julia Hubbard. Matt Hubbard.
This is way harder than shooting free throws, I'll tell you that. Hello, everyone. Larry Wood gave me some good advice last night. He said when he was in the Army, and they had to do public speaking, they said to just grab the podium and hold on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'd first like to thank God for allowing me to play the sports that I fell in love with from an early age. Second, I'd like to thank my family, my friends who came out tonight. There's so many of you, especially my wife and my 3 kids for putting up with me all the time. You guys are awesome. When I think about my time here at Hamilton, there are so many good memories, it's hard to single out just a few. So tonight I'd like to talk about the men who influenced my life during my career here at playing basketball and baseball. First, there was Coach Smith. I remember going to the basketball camps he put on and having so much fun and always wanting to play for the Big Blue. I'm not going to lie, he was kind of intimidating with the foot stomping and hollering all the time. But once you got to know him, he was all right. He really cared about me as a person, not just a player. He was patient with me, and he actually tutored me in math. Taught me a lot about the game. So thank you, Coach, for that. Second, there was Coach Allen. Coach, you're my guy. You know that. Thank you so much for our conversations, keeping tabs on me my whole life. I know I probably drove you crazy sometimes, but you always had my back, so thank you. Third, there's Coach Bowling. Man, what a ride. I'll never forget when my mom came to your house and you said it was time for me to come play basketball or baseball at Hamilton. You knew we had something special, and I was just happy to be a part of that team. I'll never forget being down 7-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Our whole dugout thought we could still win. You know, most people didn't. We never quit and somehow pulled it off. I've had a lot of good memories. That's probably the one that'll stick out the most. I want to thank also Coach Lewis. He's probably not here tonight, but he was very influential in my career here. And my teammates. It's an honor playing for you guys. And congratulations to all the inductees, everybody here, and to the board. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and share it with you all. God bless. Thank you.
If you were lucky enough to be at that state championship game, it was a lot of fun. We were lucky enough to go up to watch that game, and man, that was a lot of fun. Next up, we have Brittany Lightfoot, class of 2011. Brittany was a 3-sport athlete for Hamilton High School, graduating in 2011. During her time at the Big Blue, Lightfoot earned 11 varsity letters in volleyball, basketball, and track and field. Lightfoot was a 2-time GMC champion and 2-time GMC runner-up in shot put and discus. In 2011, Lightfoot was named the GMC Female Athlete of the Year in track and field. Lightfoot was a 3-time state qualifier, twice in the shot put and once in the discus. At the state meet her senior season, Lightfoot finished 5th in the discus with a throw of 136 feet and 8 inches. And she was the state runner-up in the shot put with a throw of 44 feet and 10 1/4 inches. Both of those throws are Hamilton High School records. Lightfoot earned a Division I scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh, where she was a 4-year member of their track and field program. In 2013, Lightfoot won the Scholar Athlete Award. Lightfoot graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with a degree in criminal justice. She currently resides in Palm Coast, Florida, and is a deputy sheriff.
I'm not a public speaker, and my heart is like doing one of these. I want to thank the committee, and I want to congratulate all the other people that got inducted. It's really an honor to be standing in front of everyone. I never thought that I would be standing here, especially for doing something that I love to do, and I thank God every day for the abilities that He's given me to be able to do such things. And it's really awesome to be here with one of my old teammates, Adam Pankey, and it's awesome to hear all of the people that came before us and all of the great things. And it's just so awesome to see that Big Blue has been doing its thing for a really long time. I'm not going to be up here for a really long time, but just bear with me. I don't want to stand up here and talk about myself. I want to share with you the special people in my village who helped me to get to the privilege of standing before you today. First and foremost, I want to thank my family here who has been my cheerleaders my whole entire life and all my sports and everything. I was introduced to Coach W and Coach Dole and Coach Phillips as a freshman playing varsity basketball. My junior year of high school, I received my first knee injury and had to sit out for most of my basketball season. Funny story, when I found out, I played an April Fool's prank on my Coach W. A lot of you may know her. And I called her and told her, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to play this year. I tore my ACL or whatever, and she like cussed me out more ways than one. And I was like, no, it's just kidding, I'm just kidding. And then actually that weekend, I played AAU, and I actually tore my ACL, MCL, my meniscus. So I had to call her back and be like, oh, I wasn't kidding, it actually did happen. So I spent most of my gym classes with Coach W and all of my lunch periods with Coach Phillips. I was checked out mentally because at the time, basketball was the most important thing to me, and I couldn't play. They both told me every day and during every practice that my role supporting my teammates and being a leader had just as much of an effect as being on the court with them. They told me over and over that people fed off my energy. And let's face it, as a high school student, you don't care about any of that. The only thing that matters is that you're playing. What I didn't know, though, was that this minor setback was the start of my success. Later my junior year, Coach Joel, Coach Phillips, and Coach Joel asked me if I wanted to run track, and I immediately said no. Before they could even finish their sentence, because the idea of running on purpose just did not sound fun to me. However, they believed in my abilities to be great in this sport, so I gave it a try. Turns out they were actually right. Fast forward to my senior year, I had only done track for 2 years. I ranked second in the state. I had made Female Athlete of the Year. I was MVP. I received an athletic scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh. But most of all, I found my passion in the sport that I never wanted to play to begin with. When I attended the University of Pittsburgh, I met Coach Brundage along with his wife, Coach Bambi Brundage, who became my family. He was very hard on me because he believed as a freshman that I was a leader. He also used to say to me, as well as my high school coaches, that everyone fed off my energy, basically challenging me to be at my best always. I had a very successful time at Pitt until I had 2 more knee surgeries that ended my athletic career. I broke completely knowing that the one thing that brought me so much happiness I'd never be able to do again. I was angry, I was bitter, and I was envious of my teammates who were still able to compete because I wanted to be one of the greatest of all time. I had a talk with my coach, and he told me, you don't have to be an athlete to be one of the greatest of all time. And then it hit me. Every coach that I've ever had has been telling me that all along. They all believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. They all saw a leadership quality in me that I never realized that I had. And they all knew no matter on or off the field, I was going to be one of the greatest of all time. I then showed up to every practice ready to be the best leader/teacher to my teammates that I could, helping to bring out qualities in them just like my coaches did for me, and it was such a rewarding feeling to see them shine. I graduated college and I joined law enforcement, and some may think that it's bad, but it's not. There are times when I have moments with people who have lost their way, and they just needed someone to see something in them that they couldn't see in themselves at that time. And it's so rewarding to have someone come see you and tell you about their success after a life-changing conversation you had with them. So, to end my speech, I didn't get where I am today alone. I had a village of beautiful people throughout my life who built me up to be the woman that I am today. I want to personally thank every single one of them for the role they played in my life to get here. And I challenge everyone in the crowd to be a spark in a student's life. Sometimes all they need is for someone to believe in them and ignite the flame. Who knows, you may be helping the next person in the Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Next up will be Joe Muschetti, class of 1979. Joe Muschetti, a 1979 graduate of Hamilton Taft High School, was a captain of the football team and member of the track and field team. In both sports, he was named the team MVP. Muschetti was a 3-year member of the football team and named All-GMC his sophomore season. During his senior year, Muschetti again was named All-GMC First Team, All-Golden Triangle First Team, Honorable Mention All-State, and selected to the Ohio North-South Football All-Star Game. Twice named the Journal News Player of the Week and set a Taft High School school record for longest run of 95 yards against Dayton Alter. Muschetti earned these accolades while only being able to play in 6 games his senior season after breaking his ankle. Muschetti set the GMC record in the shot put and won the district championship his senior season, and also received a full scholarship to play football at the University of Michigan. Go Blue, by the way. Graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in education. While playing for the Wolverines, Muschetti was part of the team that played in the Blue Bonnet Bowl, the Gator Bowl, and twice at the Rose Bowl. Muschetti served as assistant strength and conditioning coach at Michigan and the head strength and conditioning coach at the U.S. Naval Academy. Muschetti works as a sales representative for Worthington Steel. He is here with his wife, Karen, resides in Havre de Grace, Maryland, and have 3 daughters, Amanda Honorado, Samantha Fields, and Jenna Yaps.
I am certainly honored to be here and humbled, significantly humbled. Ooh, I think I forgot my glasses. That would be a problem, right, with the lights down and not glasses. I will say this, I have to go to the restroom, so I will be short. I want to start out by thanking Hamilton High School's Athletic Hall of Fame Selection Committee. I think it's something that you would never expect, at least I didn't expect the opportunity to stand up here, especially with my career being injury riddled. But it's a career that has taken me through sports that has been awesome and spectacular. And I'm proud, very, very proud to stand here today to share that story with you. Missy, wow. You know how to make an old dude feel good. And I'm going to tell you something else. 1979, Hamilton Taft, the gym was our football practice field, Mr. Pettit told me this evening. So amazing. Since 1979, I haven't been back. It's amazing to walk the hallways of the original and then see the tradition, the excellence, the academics, and the intensity. So congratulations to you. And I'm hopeful you achieve what you want to achieve with Hamilton Athletics. I'd like to, unbeknownst to me, in the class of 1998, a guy by the name of Bernie Griesinger. You guys might have heard him. He is probably the guy that got the goat, or the screeching goat. But Bernie's my father-in-law, and he nominated me for this, and unfortunately, he has passed and is not here this evening. I'm forever indebted to him for many reasons, as you'll hear later on. But also his son, Dan Griesinger, ended up taking that application and crossing the goal line, specifically for me. So I'm very, very appreciative of that, Danny. Means a lot. I want to say congratulations to the class. I had the opportunity to meet, I think, everyone that's here this evening and had the opportunity to share stories, and it's wonderful to hear the stories. It's really great to hear. I got a call from Joni Kopis, and I was like, no, that ain't right. Am I being punked? You know, that Ashton Kutcher, am I being punked? And it turned out that it was real, and here we stand this evening. Bobby Muschetti, my brother, love you, bro. Thanks for being here. The relationship with Bernie Griesinger is now back to my family, where I'd like to introduce my children. They were introduced, but Amanda, I'm very proud of. Amanda Honorado, her husband Rick. Samantha, her husband Mike, and Jenna and her husband B-Money is what we call him, Bryce. No, I appreciate you making the trip here from Hamilton, or excuse me. Hey, here's what I've learned. Dramatic pauses matter. I appreciate you making the trip from Havre de Grace. That was a bad joke. My wife told me not to do it, but all three of my girls played club, college, and club, high school, and college sports. I'm proud of them. Between them, they've won 8 state championships in field hockey and lacrosse. It's quite impressive. The reason, dramatic pause, Karen. No, I couldn't be more proud and happy to stand here. Bernie's daughter, Karen Griesinger, is my wife. And we've been married for quite some time. I met her in high school. She has been a rock in our family. She's a mentor to our children. They admire her, I admire her, and I love her. She is, Jenna, the love of my life. I was told to say that. Oops, it's true. High school was fun. I had a unique relationship with my coach. His birthday would be tomorrow. My coach was Bob Muschietti, my father. It was a very unique situation there. He was a disciplinarian. He liked to say yes, sir, and no, sir, and he made sure his children said no, sir, and yes, sir. He had dedication, intensity, leadership. He led by example. I admired him. I was very sad, but I'm very proud to be here because I know he's looking down, and I know he's really happy. He had a staff of coaches that had the same kind of intensity. We had Terry Mers, the late Terry Mers, Rocky Alt, Coach Truitt coached, and he coached there prior to my father being there. All foundations to the success of the folks that played there. In 1979, that's a while ago. Some of you didn't understand that. But some of the highlights that we had a pretty decent team. We really did. We didn't win a lot of games, but we had a lot of intensity, a lot of effort. Guys like Morris Milton was a running back, averaged 4.8 yards a carry, his senior year, which was awesome. Randy Wilson was our quarterback. Players like Herb Hufford in the back was the actual player of the week for the Altar game where I had my 95-yard run. Guys like, and I couldn't do today, guys like Terry Spivey and Greg Pettit winning, player of the game, offense and defensive lineman against the Princeton. Pat Mancuso was a stud back then, and they were really good, and those guys played really hard. So high school was memorable for sure, but it took me to the University of Michigan, which I'm proud to be there. Again, injuries ended my career there. But an opportunity, Bo was kind of the guy, when he recruited you, he was a no-nonsense guy. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a coach. He said, come to Michigan, you'll be a coach. So my freshman year, I ended up blowing my knee out and had surgery and ended my career. And Bo calls me in his office. He said, you can't come to the staff meetings, you're a student. I said, okay. He said, go see Gittleson, you're going to be a strength coach. I said, got it. So I went down there and I was a strength and conditioning coach, and I was a student athlete, and Bo kept his word. But I'll share a funny story with Bo. It's one that my mom, Carol Muschietti, when I was a freshman, bought me a pair of socks that were maize and blue. And, yes, maize and blue. And so we go up there 3 days before upperclassmen report. Freshmen are out there banging away, hard running, upperclassmen report, full pads. Psst, I put my socks on for Mom because I need superpowers, right? Upperclassmen there. Ed Moransky, 315 pounds, and Ron Simpkins, a linebacker at Cincinnati Bengals. Those guys are out, and man, I'm out there and put my socks on and get out there, and John Falk's equipment manager's looking, and Bo walks out and said, Muschietti, yep, go. We run a lap before practice, right? So it's about a mile all the way around the complex. So we get out there, and Bo waits until the very last minute and the furthest distance away to start blowing the whistle. Who is that guy wearing these socks? Yeah. Get off of my practice field. Get off of my practice field. I come running through the doors, and John Falk's white socks there. Said, put your gear on and wear what you're supposed to wear at the University of Michigan. Yes, sir. Okay, another good one there. On to the United States Naval Academy. Now, so from the University of Michigan, I had a great experience, a great opportunity, a lot of Rose Bowls, great players. Served as a student assistant in strength and conditioning, which took me to the United States Naval Academy, where I was the strength and conditioning coach for all 33 sports. So that was quite an honor. David Robinson, you might have heard of that name. Napoleon McCallum was a great running back. Alton Grizzard was a man that was a SEAL, a Navy SEAL, and ended up dying young in California in training, but had opportunity to work for folks like that. Guys like Steve Belichick. Steve Belichick was the father of Bill Belichick, who you may know up in New England is coaching. So I had an opportunity, and Steve would just wear me out on the squash court every noon. And then he would teach me and mentor me and coach me and teach me and teach me in lessons that eventually come back and you end up giving back. I left the Naval Academy because at the time I was making $35,000 as a coach. I wasn't making $400,000 like they make today. So I had to we had our first child. My wife and I wanted her to stay home. She wanted to stay home and raise the children. So I needed to make a little more income. So I went out on my own and started with Worthington, and then one day I get a call and my wife says, "Hey, Amanda wants to play lacrosse and you're coaching." I said, "Women's lacrosse?" I said, "I got no clue." So off I go and go into the venture of giving back and helping student athletes. So I had an opportunity to eventually coach in a club called Northeast Maryland Select. I was the president of our club, and it was for putting girls first. And that was the motto, that we wanted to give back. But in that time frame, those young women won national championships. They competed at the highest level. They understood what dedication, team, effort meant. And then they went on to collegiate careers. 17 of the 19 girls on my team ended up going to college and receiving some kind of athletic scholarship, which I'm extremely proud of. So as I reflect back, 3 of my daughters, as I reflect back on my career, an injury-riddled career, for sure, but a career that has allowed me to be involved in many aspects of athletic in terms of giving back. And we've heard that message tonight many times from folks about people having impacts on lives. And my coach, my father, had that same impact and that intensity. So tonight I'm very thankful to be here. I'm honored to be here. I'm impressed with the school and everything about this. And I'm humbled. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Adam Pankey, class of 2012. Adam Pankey, a 2012 graduate of Hamilton High School, was a member of the football, basketball, and track and field teams. In football, Pankey was selected first team All-GMC for 3 seasons. Pankey was also twice selected to the All-District team and selected to the All-Ohio team following his senior season. Pankey helped lead the 2010 Big Blue to the OHSAA playoffs and was named team captain his senior season. Pankey was also All-Conference and multiple regional qualifier in both the shot put and discus. Pankey had over 30 scholarship offers and decided to sign with West Virginia University, where he ended up being a 3-year starter, having 36 career starts for the Mountaineers. Pankey earned the Garrett Ford Academic and the Big 12 Commissioner's Honor Roll. Panky received all Big 12 football honors his senior year, being named the second team honors, and Panky was selected and played for in the 2017 East-West Shrine Game. He graduated from West Virginia with a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies, and after college, Panky signed with a professional contract with the Green Bay Packers, and recently finished his 6th season in the NFL playing for the Packers, the Tennessee Titans, the Miami Dolphins, and currently with the New York Jets. Panky and his fiancee Jalen Brown reside in Liberty Township and have one child, Alea.
I gotta raise it up a little bit. It's an honor to be here with everyone. It's an honor to be selected for the Hall of Fame. It's something I dreamed about since I started playing sports. Walking the halls of Hamilton, seeing the guys that came before me, seeing those jerseys hang up in the rafters. It's always something I wanted. It's always something I wanted to pursue. And to be here today and get honored for all the hard work put in, it's truly a blessing. And I want to thank the committee, staff for selecting me to be up here. It's an honor. All my peers that are joining me today and before, it's an honor to join you and to be in this class. I want to thank you to my mom, first and foremost, single mom family. So my mom, she was dad and mom, so she ran a tight ship, that's for sure. And I'm forever indebted and thankful for her to love me the way she has. And my daughter and my fiance Jalen, she's pregnant with my second child. It's gonna be a boy. Really happy, really excited. Being a family man is actually the best thing that's happened to me, besides all the sports and everything. So I'm just grateful for everything I have. But getting on with what I want to say today. Today for me is more about thanks, because it does, like Brittany said, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise someone. And I've had a hell of a village, and that's for sure. And a lot of the people that support me are in this room today, and I'm forever grateful for that. Yeah, I'm reading off the iPhone, guys. I'm a 21st century kid. So I'm a little bit more hip with it. My coaches, Coach Watkins over here, he's made the trip for me today, and I can't say enough about him and the man he is, and just the belief and confidence he's given to me that runs with me today, to this day, and everything I do. So Coach Watkins, I thank you for everything. Thank you for those trips, those long nights, and just get me pumped up before a game, man. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. I want to thank my teammates that are here today and the ones that weren't able to make it. Without them, the sport's not fun. So, just us pushing each other every day, the sweat, the blood, the 6 a.m.s. It was like a little college when we were playing. So, my teammates, I'm thankful for you guys. Wouldn't be here without you. A ton of great ones that'll probably be joining me soon. I want to thank my Aunt Debbie that's here today too. My Aunt Debbie and my Uncle Ralph, my late Uncle Ralph, who isn't able to join us here today. Big support from me. Helped me get where I needed to go when I needed it. So my Uncle Ralph and Aunt Debbie, I just thank you guys so much. Not enough words can say what you guys mean to me. My grandma, who's here, I wish my late grandpa would be here. He passed a couple years ago, and he's probably the biggest in my life, and he'd be really happy to see this today. He taught me how to be early, how to work hard, and just how to handle business, and what's expected from you every day. So really, really thankful for him and what he's meant to me and done for me in my life. I want to thank Coach Dole, Coach Joe, who's not here. For my track, I wouldn't even have done track like Brittany said. It's in the forefront, like the back of my mind. Running never sounded fun to me, so as you could tell. But I went out there and jumped on it, and I had a great teammate like Britt who pushed me to be better, and I wanted to chase her and be great. because she was great. She was truly great. For anyone who isn't familiar with her and what she's done, it was something to see, I'll tell you that. And how she represented Hamilton, she's fully deserving, and I'm humbled to be entering the Hall of Fame with her. So that's really cool. Coach Phillips isn't here too. He also helped me join track and play and just have belief in myself. Coach Robinson, he's probably not here. Coached basketball at the time. Played a little basketball. I came off the bench, was roughing guys up. Whoever their big man was, whoever was really good for them, my job take them out of the game. And so I enjoy him for letting me do that and work on my feet at the same time. All my teachers coming through Hamilton City Schools, I know I could have been a knucklehead at times, and I know they're not all here, but I just really want to thank all my teachers that I had coming through Hamilton. I've really had the best. I've went on and had terrible teachers, so I know just how valuable and what it means to have great teachers behind you. So thank you, and thanks for putting up with me, because I know I could be a handful of times, so I appreciate you. I don't know that I've truly been able to sit down and grasp what this moment really means, because I'm still actively playing and pursuing more goals and things I set for myself. But getting the call from Dole let me know that I made the Hall of Fame. It did give me a boost of confidence, gave me a chip on my shoulder that I should have known I always had coming from Hamilton. Not a whole lot is expected from you. Nothing's really given. You earn everything when you come from Hamilton. And that's the chip that I love to go out with every day, and kind of an underdog mentality, and blue collar. Blue collar is the biggest thing. You work for what you get, and you get what you earn. So just want to thank everybody for their time and for being here today. Appreciate you guys. Go Big Blue.
Bring it back down to my level. All right, next up will be Gary Richardson, class of 1998. I believe the program might say 97, but it's 1998. Gary Richardson is a 1998 graduate of Hamilton High School, where he was a vital member of both the football and track and field teams. Richardson was a 3-year varsity letter winner in football, where he played for fellow Hall of Fame coach Ed Minery. Richardson was elected as the team captain for the 1997 team. His leadership and linebacker play helped lead Hamilton to an undefeated season, a Greater Miami Conference championship, and a berth in the OHSA Division I playoffs. Richardson earned first-team All-GMC honors that season. Richardson was also a standout on the track, where he was coached by fellow Hall of Fame coach Skip Taylor. Richardson was a 2-time state qualifier, where he and his teammate continued to share the school record in the 4x100 meter relay with a time of 42.5 seconds. Richardson was named the outstanding senior athlete at Hamilton. He earned a scholarship to Miami University, where he played outside linebacker. Richardson graduated from Miami with multiple degrees, including his Bachelor's of Science in Health Appraisal, Master's of Science in Exercise Science, and his Bachelor's of Science in Health Appraisal, and his MBA. Richardson works for Cincinnati Insurance, where he is an underwriter. He and his wife, Carlin, live in Cincinnati and have 4 children, Joshua, Jocelyn, Jonah, and Jolene.
First and foremost, I wanted to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We live and we have our being because of him. And we're able to glean these awards because of our Lord and Savior. I'd also like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, Missy. We go way back. She was a cheerleading coach when I was playing. Thank you to Mike Dole for keeping me your emails, or keeping me, just on schedule. Appreciate it. Appreciate the Hamilton committee for thinking of me. All these accolades, those awards, what you just read, I'd rather in this speech, I didn't write anything. I didn't have anything prepared. Perhaps I would probably fail at trying to remember all those who have been just great contributors to what I have succeeded in. It's not me. It was those like my father and my mother. The foundation was already laid. That's Jesus Christ. They just started to build the walls of integrity. They told me that my name is more important than anything. It's more important than a ruby, a diamond. It's your name. And I can't help but to think, but that was the thing that brought my name up in the meeting. Integrity, hard worker, a person that wants to instill the truth. I'm thankful for those who just been in my corner. Just look around. These are just folks that's in your corner, just been backing you up and just cheering you on. I have folks in my corner that's been doing the same thing and they still doing it, cheering me on. I have my uncle. He's not here tonight, my Uncle Milton Richardson. He had vision. I was a young man, I was nearsighted. I was only concerned about the here and now, the current things, whatever's happening. But my Uncle Milton Richardson would gather us and put us in a car and take us to the university. He started to develop a far-sighted, individual, allowed me to see something other than the nearsighted. You can go to the university, you can go to the college. I'm grateful for my Uncle James Richardson and my Aunt Brenda, who instilled the Word of God in me. That's given me trajectory because I continue to press towards the mark of the higher calling. I'm thankful for that because I glean from coaches, Ed Menery and his family, teaching us how to finish strong. Don't quit. Keep going. Fourth quarter, we go all the way. I'm thankful for your words. I'm thankful because I'm still gathering from those words and gleaning from those words as I press towards the mark. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my 4 children. They have put up with me, yes, they have, but my wife, she invests so much of her time, of her energy, in me, because she's the one that helped me learn how to study. You read off my accolades as far as having 2 masters. That's coming from my wife. She stayed up at night teaching me and educating me on how to study, on how to re-look at the exams. Just like film room, coach. The coaches are there to not just highlight your things that you're strong in, but they're there to highlight and bring to surface the things that you're weak in, keeping you level-headed. I'm grateful for my teammates. I'm sure that you could have closed your eyes and point to the photograph and point anyone out, but I want to represent my teammates, and I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for Coach Phillips. He's not here tonight, but he offered a safe haven, his home. He offered his table and fed me after practice. So I'm thankful. Thankful for my brother and my sisters, Marcus Richardson, Valencia Richardson, Renata Richardson. They were there. They were a standard. I'm the youngest of 4. They were in the high school before me, so therefore they paved the way. They paved the standard. They set it. So I'm thankful for them. Thankful for his wife being here. It's just amazing. I'm so happy just to be here. I'm thankful because, it's not me. I like to step aside from this word that only starts with 1 letter. You only spell it with 1 letter, and it's I. It's not me tonight. It's those that are in my corner. I'm thankful for just all of the inductees for embracing the discipline, embracing the challenge, and going through those tough times. So I'm thankful on tonight. As a coach, nowadays, you continue to take these nearsighted young people and you set their trajectory. You set their focal point. And you have a mission. You have a platform. And those are the things that, you know, are just wonderful. And I'm grateful for individuals who are there to set forth people's lives. You know, I would probably perhaps fail if I were to write a speech, because I know that the paper would be, there's a lot of folks who remain anonymous. And perhaps they like it that way. I'm talking about folks who cook the spaghetti, who bake the garlic bread to allow our team to come together and to eat and to dine and to break bread together. Thankful for those who are just working behind the scenes, rolling up their sleeves to help a young man like myself. I was able to travel along, go to college, play football, pick up degrees, but I'm so thankful for those who have helped me along the way. And there's another uncle. That's my Uncle Vince Richardson. Vince Richardson he was the strength and conditioning coach. He was my first strength and conditioning coach. I'm thankful for him for showing me the gym, teaching me that resistance training, when you're going through the weight room and you're lifting those weights, your heart starts to pound, you start to feel the burning sensation, but you don't stop. You keep pushing. You keep pressing. You know, I don't strap up anymore. I don't want to put the helmet on anymore. I wish not to put those shoulder pads on anymore. But it's something about sports that I glean. Continue to press. And again, I'm pressing towards the mark of the higher calling. Thank you very much. Thank you for this time.
All right, that brings us to the end. At this time, our 8 members, our new inductees, let's give them one more round of applause. Like I said, that brings us to the conclusion this evening. This was a great time. Another great group of individuals coming into this Hall of Fame, representing Hamilton, some great stories. Can't wait to do it again next year. Everybody, please drive home safely. Have a wonderful evening. God bless and go blue.